Today is Tuesday, Parashat Nasso. Beginning of the Parashah tells us about the counting of Bnei Gershon, of the sons of Gershon, of the family. Within the Levi family, there was Gershon, there was Kehat, Merari, and the Bechor, the firstborn, was Gershon. And here, the Parashah of this week, we given the counting, the census of the descendants of Gershon from the age of 30 years until the age of 50 years. And he's going to tell us about the type of function they had in carrying the items from the Mishkan. But the Kli Yakar asks a question. Why is it that at the end of last week's Parashah was the counting of the children of Kehat, which was the brother of Gershon, but Gershon was the Bechor, the firstborn? It would make more sense to first start with the counting of the descendants of Gershon, who was the Bechor. Why does it start with Kehat, who's the second to be born? And the Kli Yakar explains that because the function of the Kehat family from the Levi tribe was to carry the Aron where was the Torah was kept. And therefore, they had more importance, in a sense, because they carried the Aron, because they carried the Torah, to indicate that the Torah is the most important aspect. And the question is asked, well, why didn't we give them to Gershon to carry the Torah? Because if the function of carrying the ark was given to Gershon, we would think it's because he's the Bechor. But here it comes to indicate, regardless of when were you born in terms of the firstborn or not the firstborn, the one who carries the Torah is the one that has the most importance. That's why he's given priority to be counted first. And in truth, the Kli Yakar brings more of this idea. The Pasuk says, Yekarahim epeninim, that the Torah is more valuable, has more importance than even peninim. In other words, if you were to compare a Talmid Chacham who knows a lot of Torah to a Kohen Gadol, a high priest, who's Am Haaretz, who goes all the way to Kodesh HaKodashim on Yom Kippur, then the one who's a Talmid Chacham has more importance than Am Haaretz Kohen Gadol. And because the Torah is something that you have to invest effort in to be able to learn it and to gain its knowledge and to become Talmid Chacham, it's something that is available to anyone. But Kehuna, only if you're the son of a Kohen, you become a Kohen. So there is more value to the achievement of a Talmid Chacham. Also, another explanation the Kli Yakar brings, Yekarahim ipeninim, that the Torah is more valuable, has more importance than jewels that are on the crown of the king. Because a king can become king only because he's a descendant of David HaMelech. When actually to acquire Torah is something that is available to everyone. And a person who learns Torah, applies himself and becomes a Talmid Chacham, will have even more importance than a king. There are some other reasons that the Kli Yakar brings, that from Kehat came Moshe and Aharon, and therefore they were given preference to be counted first. But the main reason that is brought here with the Kli Yakar is the idea to give importance to the Torah to such an extent that because the sons of Kehat were given the function of carrying the Aron with the Torah, they were given preference to be counted first. Gershon was the Bechor, but his duty was to carry the curtains and some of the other aspects of the Mishkan. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.